internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours Script. Let's get right into today's episode. This is so bullish, I'm not even going to waste a second of your time, and I'm going to get right into it. Do you guys recall this PDF that was published by the Group of 30 back in 2020? Digital currencies and stablecoins. Risk, opportunities, and challenges ahead. And then we had Mr. Kenneth Rogoff. Okay, he was a part of this when they put this together, and previously he was the chief economist at the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and currently he is a professor of economics at Harvard University, and you're going to hear him speak in a moment. This video was published by the Group of 30 one day ago, and it only has 126 views, but what was said in this video is incredible. What's more incredible is what they said back in 2020. Remember how stablecoins back in 20, we weren't really talking much about it. And then everybody figured out that stablecoins is going to be that key driver of bank adoption. And under this category, they said coordinating the introduction of a global official stable coins. And this is insane. They set this back in 2020, and listen to what he says in a moment, okay? So first off, listen to what was said here. The CBDC token technology itself does not mitigate settlement liquidity requirements and the adoption of tokenized CBDC, okay? Remember that. And we made that very clear. Okay, and I want to set the tone, and you listen to what David Schwartz says here, and I'll even go out of my way to give Brad Garlinghouse a call, and you guys could hear it from him.
But, especially what the banks are doing, I think last week a new kind of consortium of banks said, hey, we're rolling out this new stable coin. Does that kind of freeze you guys out, or?
I think it's actually helpful. One of the problems that people have is the ability to hold digital assets can be difficult, particularly with the volatility in some digital assets. Stable coins are safer to hold if you can trust the issuer. So I think to that extent, it can be helpful because you still need liquidity. So if you imagine a dollar stable coin issued by JPM, and you have maybe some other dollar coins issued by companies like Circle, and everybody seems to be issuing a stable coin. And then you have stable coins in other currencies, because if you're not in the United States, a dollar coin is not really all that stable. You still need liquidity between those stable coins. And I think it's also important to remember that these stable coins have counterparties, and there isn't a universal counterparty. There isn't some counterparty that everybody in the world can have equal access to. It's going to have to be in some jurisdiction. It's going to have to be part of some regulatory regime. And so I think if the vision is this sort of open participation, this sort of internet of money, collateralized stable coins will be players, but I think there will still have to be liquidity between them. And if you
Hey Brad, sorry to bother you. I'm just recording. Can you please explain the difference between a stablecoin and XRP to my audience, please?
A stablecoin like USDC, for example, that Coinbase and Circle have done, I think that is interesting in mitigating volatility, but you still have to go from dollar to peso, right? So at some point you have a bridge. Somebody has to bridge that. And in effect, what Ripple's doing is, let's make XRP the most efficient, the most liquid, and the easiest to bridge by selling effectively the connectors on both ends, selling APIs to allow people to connect to both ends of that. If we have hundreds of banks interconnected to use XRP for that, I think that bodes well for the liquidity of XRP.
So you're basically saying that XRP can hit $100.
I mean, that's what I believe. I think different people believe different things, but that's okay.
Okay, so check this out, and I'm going to play what Kenneth says in a moment. Mark Carney is what he said, and he's now in Canada. He's the Prime Minister of Canada. Carney has raised the question of whether a globally coordinated systemic hegemonic currency could dampen the spillover shocks associated with the dominance of the US dollar as a reserve currency. A systemic hegemonic currency could, for example, be a stablecoin backed by a basket of deposits at different central banks. It is possible that such a stablecoin could be valuable for cross-border payments, serving a function similar to the one offered in the private sector by Ripple, a real-time gross settlement system, currency exchange, and remittance network. Wholesale digital currency, XRP, leapfrogs slow and expensive correspondent banking. And listen to what David Schwartz said years ago.
Who hold that to align incentives. Institutional buyers who may buy XRP with a lockup, they have an aligned incentive with us and other people who hold XRP because the future value of XRP is very important to them, and we're able to use it that way.
And where we are today with Ripple and the whole infrastructure that they have built and RLUSD and XRP, it's so sad to me that people don't see this or don't understand this, or they don't even try to put some time and effort to understanding how XRP is going to go up in value, because $100 XRP is going to be dirt cheap, okay? So listen to what Kenneth says here. This is incredible.
I think there's a strong argument to be made that in the long run, a couple stable coins, 2 or 3, will dominate. Their network effects. There's all kinds of things. Yet, I think politically, it was very difficult for Congress to say, we're going to select the 2 current winners. We're going to anoint them.
And we know right now that RLUSD and USDC are going to be the clear winners in the stablecoin ecosystem. USDT currently has $174 billion of unregulated capital flows, okay? And that is why the best part about this is, Tether came out with their USD, US, I don't know. They came out with another stablecoin strictly for the US economy. So they don't want to use their USDT because they have to get audited. So they said, you know what, we'll just start a new coin and we'll try to get in there with you guys. It is incredible, and people don't see that. So RLUSD is going to be a very, very powerful name. And they know that the banks are going to be hit hard with this, right? Listen, so this is incredible. If such global currency were to be heavily used, however, it could lead to a monetary policy spillover cost and efficiency losses associated with competing payment network externalities. And listen to what he says here.
We see the Genius Act in the United States as really trying to recreate this pre-Civil War banking system. And I know there are those that would say it was the post-Civil War, but we don't think that's right, where there were lots of bankruptcies, lots of problems that eventually led to something. And I think that will be the case here.
That is absolutely incredible. So he told you that there's going to be stablecoin 2 clear winners. There might be a little bit more, obviously, but in terms of dominant players, remember when this crypto ecosystem goes up to, let's say, $3 trillion in USD, in terms of the market capitalization for this whole ecosystem for stablecoins, who's going to have that market share, right? I know for a fact RLUSD will hit $1 trillion, 100%. Like, the 100%, it's going to happen. And the best part about that is when the stablecoin, so for when RLUSD hits $1 trillion, XRP's market capitalization is going to be way higher than $1 trillion. That's a fact, because it needs to have enough liquidity to have these systems flow smoothly. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. CBDCs, stablecoins, they're still a central bank digital currency. It's a stablecoin. It's the exact same thing. Okay. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But the writing's on the wall, and don't sit there and tell me XRP is not going to go to $100 based off of zero knowledge that you provide. Because even when we it's crazy. It's just crazy to me, because like when you go and look at the Bitcoin valuation back in 2013 at $115, right? Like now we're at 120,000. Absolutely, but what is the value driver of Bitcoin? It's just a bunch of rich people saying, I'm going to keep buying it because it makes sense, right? It's not like the banks are holding it. They're buying it as ETFs, but they're not using Bitcoin. It is sitting idle. It is a pet rock. Like this, it's literally what it is. And I'm just trying to give you the perspective of why, like, if Bitcoin went from $115, and this is not what we go based off of. I want to tell you guys that right now. You guys know we go through some heavy, deep research. But Bitcoin went from $115,000 to $120,000. Give me a break. The best part about this is when we compare Ethereum as well. Ethereum went from 96 cents. Okay, it was less than that, 96 cents, all the way to where we are today, about $4,000, right? Explain to me why XRP is not going to reach those levels. Like XRP was Bitcoin and XRP for a very long time, okay? And it's going to be remarkable when XRP flips Bitcoin. That is going to be so sweet to see. And listen, that is not a delusional thought, and that's the best part about it. I know some of you guys may think that that's delusional and that's never going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen way faster than you think it's going to happen, okay? Way faster than you could even expect it. Because a utility token like XRP is going to dwarf assets like Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is not going to be used at scale. It's not going to be used as a payment mechanism. It's not going to be used in the real world economy, settling transactions. I could go on and on about how these other digital assets, you guys know, provide different use cases. Like Chainlink is going to be nowhere near XRP's level, okay? Chainlink does not do settlement. Chainlink does not do large value transactions. And this is facts in terms of settlement, okay? It does not move value. It moves information. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And the DDCC is telling you, Brad Garlinghouse is telling you.
There's a couple of things that are a little bit different about this. This is the first time in our history where we've seen actually retail lead and institutional follow. But
it's very different. And I've been out in Silicon Valley for about 20 years. The thing that's very different about what's happening now versus the dot-com bubble is the dot-com bubble, it was the institutional investors who were in, and then retail came on top and priced things up. The exact opposite has happened here. You have retail and kind of speculative interest already in the market, and now you have institutional money starting to come in.
What more do you guys want? It is, all you need is something that I've told you that you can't go to Walmart for. And that is patience. Have patience. Just keep grinding. Your day is going to come. Every day you're accumulating, every paycheck you're accumulating, you do understand that you are pretty much pulling yourself out and just trying to squeeze in to the next 1%. And that's happening. That's happening as we speak in real time. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And we will be back with another video.
Money altogether going from digital dollars, from any kind of government-backed currency to purely private currencies. And what a private currency or what private money, I think, fundamentally means is that there is no medium of exchange. You exchange value for value.
Ripple is really a second generation of the Bitcoin concept. And as many of you know, Bitcoin and Ripple are really two things. They are a new global currency, what we call a math-based currency.
Our goal was nothing less than to replace the US dollar by creating a new digital currency.
But I think the idea of buying and holding forever and not trying to make adjustments requires that you've gotten it right in the first place. That you can only hold tight if you've bought right, if you will. And that is to say, have an asset allocation that has something to do with how many years you have to accumulate money, how much resources you have at stake, how much income you need, and how much courage you have to ride out the peregrinations of the market.
It started with a vision, now it's spreading wide. SLT's the token, it's our DJ pride. 24 hours crypto, leading the call. Bringing XRP believers, united we stand tall. First ledger's on fire, trades like the scene. SLT's the movement, power in the dream. From the memes to the moon, we're making it real. 100 XRP, that's the deal. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see XRP XRP to 100 destiny. This ain't just a token, it's a battle cry. For those who know, XRP will fly high. Salute is the name, SLT the ticker. First ledger's buzzing, trades getting quicker. Building the future, brick by brick. In a world powered by Ripple, the vision will stick. We're more than a meme, it's a movement strong. XRP believers, let's prove them wrong. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. 24 hours crypto, the captain of the crew. SLT's the anthem for the bold and true. Through the dips and the pumps, we stand and fight, believing in the ledger, in the dawn's bright light. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. So raise your SLT, let the world hear the sound. XRP believers, we're Ripple bound. From the memes to the charts, the vision is clear. Salute to the future, the time is near. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.